it's the Mad Queen. Welcome to the Queen's Lair. I really want to talk to you about the Ruin of Gods. This is one of the different challenges that you can do with your guildmates under the battle section within your guild. Ruins of Gods is a really nice addition to the game that was added a few months ago. And I want to talk firstly about the rewards you get. You're going to get a lot of these random chests as you progress throughout the Ruins of the Gods. There are many stages, and you just work together with your team as you start to progress farther and farther throughout. I have seen so many people making some mistakes on what they're choosing from these. A lot of these are going to have the choice where there's going to be advanced charms to upgrade gear, 3-star pumpkins, and sometimes there's going to be elemental crystals and stuff for you to forge. Always pick from the advanced charms that are in here. It's really hard to, honestly, get a lot of these in the game. This is going to help you tremendously farm gear charms during this event. I typically get quite a few charms from this. I know it can be tempting to get the pumpkins, but I'm telling you, this is going to be your best option as far as what to pick from these. I personally will pick the charms based on what I really need. And typically, I like to either go with the boots, ring, or necklace. Of course, you can see that both of these options are in here, and sometimes all three options are in here. I really try to think to what I need the most of right now. I feel like I always need a ton of gear to upgrade, but I really try my best to think about what I need to upgrade next. I have a lot of really good gear for support heroes and tanks, and I do have really good gear for my offensive heroes that deal damage, but I don't have a ton of it. And I am lazy, even though there is the option to switch gear sets around, and I do it a billion times a day, it feels like. I just hate not having enough gear to fully build a hero out. And that honestly probably comes from my days of playing Raid Shadow Legends, where you had to pay, and you still do, I'm pretty sure, just to switch the gear out on your heroes, which is totally freaking bonkers. And it's just nice to not have to worry about it every time you go to use a hero. Man, are they using gear? And I have ADHD, so my brain is always just like going. I will literally go in and out of different screens like 3-4 times because I can't remember the heroes I looked at and if they had gear or not. And so, yeah, it's something else. And that was a bit of a rant. But right now, I am needing a lot of attack percent necklaces, so that's going to be my choice, and I should have, okay. So, and then in here, you can see the different options. I'm going to pick boots. I typically do try to aim for charms that are going to upgrade the gear on the bottom, because you typically are going to get the most value out of those items generally anyways, especially since you can get attack percent as the main stat on all those. I'm not saying you don't get a lot of utility or use out of the other pieces. So as far as this, wow. See, I'm telling you, this is so many gear charms. I'm going to go ahead and just pick boots again. And something else to look at. Right now, Ruins of the Gods is going on for about 8 days. Let's go take a look at our Dragon Cup rally and our events in the event calendar. there's a gear enhancement rally that's going to happen on Tuesday, January 10th. So that's going to happen very shortly after this ends, which is excellent placement. And I'm glad that they actually did it like this. I don't know if it was on accident or if it was planned. I'm hoping it was planned and it keeps going like this. But you're able to get a bunch of these charms for that event. And you should get plenty of charms from doing Rise of the Gods that you can totally complete the gear enhancement rally. And as far as the Dragon Cup rally calendar, oh, that's the one I was just on. As far as the events calendar, oops, yeah, there's a gear enhancement event on 1/16, so it's going to be a couple days after the other one ends. You have the opportunity to get so many charms. And let me go ahead over into the battle, because I do want to share some tips about combat strategies in here as well. You can see here, I only have 2 attacks right now, but you can get quite a few extra attacks. I've just already used all mine. I am in the later stages of the game, so I have a ton of heroes and a lot of options. Plus, I'm able to do a lot of damage with 1 or 2 heroes. So, if you're in a place where you don't really have a lot of heroes, what's really good about this is, of course, you can switch the gear out. So if you only have like 2 really good sets of gear that help you do a lot of damage, you're going to be just fine. The only thing that might affect that is if your main hero that wears it is booked, it will affect the crit rate, crit damage, of course. But anyways, you don't want to put in 4 of your best heroes in one battle, because the chances are, if they are really good and they can deal a lot of damage, it's going to be a waste because they won't all get a turn. And then, if you have a bunch of extra attacks waiting, you're kind of just sitting there like, well, I used all my other heroes. Now I can't do it again until the reset. And I'm going to miss out on these attacks to help my guild. So try to just place in, this is honestly, it's really going to be dependent on where you are in the game, what kind of gear you have, the kind of heroes you have in general. But for myself, I'm very close to in-game. I don't like to consider myself totally in-game, but I am very late game, pushing in-game. I like to put in 2 heroes that can do a decent amount of damage. If not, I will put in 1 hero that can help with survivability or control. If you can taunt the other team, like with a Lunar Melissa, or if you're able to boost attack up and speed with heroes like Halia, who can also grant an extra turn, or Winstrix, you could put one of those in with 1 attack hero and just put fillers in, because you want to really be able to stretch out your heroes as much as possible, especially if you don't have a ton of heroes overall. Do not place all 4 heroes in a team that are really, really good. You also want to make sure that you're helping your teammates go through and get relics, as many relics as you can. It's not gonna, okay, it will. These ancient relics can help you get points that your leader, your guild leader, is going to be able to use under the talents to give you and your heroes and everybody in the guild extra boosts. And these are also going to be dependent on where you're at or where your guild is within the game. Which talents are picked are also going to depend where your guild as a whole is. And hopefully you're in a guild that is around the same level you are. You don't want to be in a guild that's way above you and your abilities are way below you, because that is going to be a mega struggle. So I hope these tips were really helpful for you. I know they weren't like crazy tips. It's just a few pretty simple but very helpful tips that I have for you guys. If you have any questions or any additional things you'd like to add, put that in the comments. I would love to see what you guys have to say. If you're a new or experienced player, join my growing Discord community. It's a great place for beginners to ask for advice and experienced players to give advice. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.